Hi everyone, it's been almost a year since we introduced the new Canopy physics in Skydive Sim. Since then we've been pushing regular updates and adding more and more features with each update. I thought it would be a good idea to put together an advanced tutorial for Skydive Sim and go through all these features. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Let's dive right in. As you already know from the basic tutorial, if we want to move in freefall, we can just push against the air and we move to the opposite direction that we're pushing. And you can turn by turning your wrist to the direction you want to go. But you can also slide to the right in freefall by moving one hand above the other and the other way around. You can also track in freefall. What you would do is pretty much put your hands where you would if you're skydiving and you're trying to track. And you can see you get a lot of forward motion. Also, you can go to sit fly by pressing the X button on the left controller, and it increases your fall rate. You can also go back to belly by pushing the same X button. If you are in sit fly and you decide to open your parachute, you'll automatically get a malfunction. It breaks your canopy. With this malfunction, your only option is to cut away and pull your reserve. How to do that? You will grab the cutaway handle where it would normally be in real life, and you grab these. So you grab right here, you feel a vibration, and you do this. And you're gonna do it again on the reserve side. You go ahead and grab it, you feel the vibration, and you pull. You can see it's a reserve, it's a different color, and you can fly it as you would with any other canopy. In order to use the front risers, you can hold the toggles as you normally would by pressing the grip buttons, and also press on the triggers. They turn red, and now you can dive down a lot faster. From the main menu, if you go to Options tab, you can see at the very top we have the mode for single and multiplayer. Multiplayer means you'll be able to connect with others. If you have it on private and you're hosting, you can type in a room name and give it a password and share that with your friends. If it's public, there's no password necessary and anybody can join you. Or you can go to the join mode and select from others that are playing, see if you can join with them. Right under that is the audio panel, which is master, music, SFX for sound effects, and voice is used for when you're in multiplayer mode and you want to hear the other people talking to you. To the right side of the audio panel, you can see the quality settings. By default, it's going to be on low. If you are on a Quest 2, I recommend you keep it on there. If you're on Quest 3 or a high-end PC using Airlink, I would say go ahead and put that on high. You get much better graphics quality. FOV limiter by default is set to the center. So that gives it a little bit of darkness around the edges of your peripheral vision, and it helps with motion sickness. You can turn it all the way off, or you can turn it on to full, and it will just be a lot more aggressive darkened edges, so your peripheral vision can't see as much. But it will help with motion sickness, so it's good for people that are prone to that. Front Hackie is to pull your parachute using the front tab that we've set up. This is because it's easier to see, and a lot of non-skydivers wouldn't know where to reach for the bottom of the container. Now, if you still wanted to reach for the bottom of container where it would normally be on a skydiving rig, you can do so and use the grip button. So once you reach where the bottom of container would be, you would press the grab button, grab it, you'll feel a vibration, and you pull and let go of the grab button. And that's how you pull using the traditional method in skydiving. You can leave the front Hackie on, or you can just turn it off if you don't want to see it in front of you. Sometimes it is convenient to have it. I'm leaving it on for now. Landing assist gives you an estimation of where you'll land based on your current heading and input. So this is a dynamic target that shows up on the ground as you're flying under Canopy. It moves around depending on if you're using your toggles, giving it input, if you're turning, if you're using the front risers. It changes where you would end up landing. It's pretty dynamic. It's not meant to be exactly where you're going to end up because there's so many variables. So as you give input, you can see that moving around, which can be pretty helpful if you want to see what each input is doing and working on accuracy. AAD is automatic activation device, just like the real world skydiving. It deploys your canopy if you're at a certain height before you reach the ground, and it is turned off by default if you go to any of our base jumping scenes. So once you're in base jumping, that's going to turn off. You can also turn this off if you are in, let's say, any of the regular jumps, plane, helicopter, or balloon. You can decide that, okay, I want to be able to get much lower to the ground. I don't want AAD to pull for me. You can turn it off. Malfunction chance is pretty much what it sounds like. 0% means you won't have a canopy malfunction. If you have it at 100%, you'll have a malfunction every time you open. So this is good if you want to kind of experience the malfunction. For now, I'm going to go ahead and leave it off. You can also leave it in between somewhere. That way it's more natural. Sometimes you'll get a malfunction, sometimes you won't. AI skydivers is a great way to have other skydivers flying with you when you're in single player mode. We have 3 AI skydivers that will jump with you once this is on, and you can work on your free fall rate with them. You can also chase them around under canopy, and it's just a lot of fun. Altimeter, we have an arrow down and arrow up. By default, it's going to show up on the bottom of your wrist. And if you want it to, for it to show up on top of your wrist, you'll just flip this on, and then when you go into the scene, your altimeter's up here. Units are imperial and metric. So, for example, wind here is in miles per hour, 20 miles per hour. If you go to metric, it does the calculation for you, 32 kilometers per hour. And your altimeter, the distance you land, everything will be pretty much calculated in metric for you at that point. Coins are a great way to have more fun while you're under canopy. You can fly to them under canopy, and when you intersect with them, you'll feel a little vibration in your controllers, and you'll also score more points. Wind speed, pretty much as it says, the amount of the wind and also the direction it's coming from, which can be super helpful for the more real world DZs if you want to set up a certain pattern to fly and land. The canopies, beginner is a 1-to-1, pretty much a beginner canopy, and it just gets more aggressive from there. If you go to custom, you can build pretty much any wing you want. The default for the custom settings is the same as expert. So if you want to have a reference of where you are, you can hit default. Okay, now you have the expert, and then you can go in here and change glide ratio, speed. You can pretty much kick these up and get a lot of glide. You can make this into a paraglider if you wanted to. So you can play with these settings, and once you touch any of these sliders, it's going to give you the option to name it and save it. And then later on, if you have several of these later on, then you can just load them from here. So if you click load, right now I don't have any presets, I didn't save anything in there. And now for some fun stuff. We have a wind tunnel, an outdoor wind tunnel in the mountain scene. To get to it, you have to jump up, which is push the A button and you jump wherever you are. You can jump and get up here. And then if you press the Y button, it activates. And now you can work on your freefall techniques. It's kind of fun to just hang out with another person if you're talking and try to hold together. You can do your turns. You can pretty much do everything you can do in Freefall right in here. To deactivate it, just come down a bit and hit the Y button again. Another thing we have is the jetpacks. If you want to activate jetpacks, you can press the B button. You have to press and hold it until it activates. You'll see them. And then use the triggers to give it power. The more you push, the more you go up. So you can actually learn to hover with this. One thing that a lot of people use this for is if they're working on just landings and they just want to work on their flares. They get high up enough in the level and you hold the B button again until it deactivates and you pull right away. Of course, I didn't set myself up for the target, but it's there and you can definitely work on accuracy landings now. To hide the end menu, you just hit the left menu button after you've landed. And then let's go back over here. I'm going to show you another feature we have. I like using the jetpacks to actually travel faster instead of walking across this level. This is one of my favorite levels because we've added a lot of extra fun stuff to it. As you get closer to this, you'll see that there's a ladder. So you can actually climb this ladder all the way up if you wanted to. It does take a while, so what I normally do is actually cheat. You can go up there and base jump. So you can climb it manually if you want, or you can use the jetpacks. And get up here faster. You have to slowly let go and land. And this will shut off in 2 seconds after you let go. So now I can actually base jump from here and go back down. My AAD was on, it seems like, so it went ahead and activated it automatically. I normally have AAD off, so you can actually jump off of that and pull really fast as well. Another fun thing we have in this level is a soup pond. I'm going to get back up by pushing the Y button and using the jetpacks. And by the way, if you want to turn while you're in jetpacks, you can just slightly move one hand up. You can see it's turning me right now. And I am going to turn it off a little bit higher. In fact, I'm going to turn it off now and let the AAD kick in so I can demonstrate that as well. So here we are going down and there's the AAD with my reserve. Now I will try a soup across this, but I am not a super, so let's see how I do. Not so bad, I guess. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on the Facebook group or on the chat on the website or on Discord. And if you haven't done so, please make sure you leave a review in the store for us. Thank you so much.